Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. Michael Krizo has been spotted at Bet Francis Powerhouse Gym. He's obviously in the United States. For those of you who don't know, Krizo has been competing obviously in Russia. He is a monstrous guy. He kind of reminds me of Robert Bernayka, if you don't remember Robert. He was just big, huge arms, chest, back, big quads. Very similar in physique. I'll even put a picture up of both of them so you can see. But Krizo is obviously a person who is not currently competing in the IFBB. And he has decided that he will leave where he has been competing. He's going to have to do a pro qualifier to qualify, which kind of seems ridiculous because he's a monster of a guy. He's going to win pro shows. But that's the process. I mean, you can't just give a pass to people just because they've achieved something in some other organization. I understand. Let them do an amateur qualifier. If anything, I would try to pick a qualifier that actually maybe has a pro show the same weekend, so you can qualify and then jump right into a pro show. Kind of what Peter Molnar did. I don't know if it was last year or the year before that. But Krizo is a monster. I mean, he's got oodles of muscle. He's got good muscle maturity. He's got freaky muscle, and he's super wide. He's got a very big structure, so he takes up a lot of space on stage. He's wide here. He doesn't have the smallest waist, but neither did Jay Cutler, and it doesn't matter because his waist looks small in comparison to his shoulder width. He's got a good V-taper. He really doesn't have any weak body parts. And when he's, dialed in at 100%, he's going to give these guys in the IFBB Pro League a run for their money for sure. Now, how he stacks up, we won't know until he stands on stage with these guys. But, the consensus is that he's going to do very well. And, looking at the pictures, and pictures don't tell the whole story, of course, you can't help but be impressed with the guy because he's got a lot of mass. Look, I remember when Ramy first stepped onto the stage, we were going crazy because we hadn't seen anyone that big since Ronnie Coleman, and that was exciting. Krizo is not as big as Ramy is or was, but he's big in a different sense. He's got a lot of freak factor to him with pretty good structure. So how he'll do on a pro stage, I don't know. I would love to see him on the Olympia stage at some point this year, if we can get him on in December, which would mean he'd have to qualify before that, and then he would obviously have to win a pro show, to get there, which is not unheard of. There are shows in Europe he could probably qualify at and then do a pro show and get a qualification right there as well. Obviously, once he enters the Pro League, he will have to compete against the best of the best, and that's going to really be a true test for him. I don't think the amateur level will be much of a test. I think in the amateur level, I feel bad for the guys who are going to be there competing against him. They're going to see this guy, he looks like he should be on the Olympia stage, and they got to compete against him on an amateur stage. Obviously not that fun and not that fair, but it is what it is. He'll have to go through that process. He'll get that pro card, and then the question will be, should he hit a small pro show and qualify for the Olympia, or should he go and try to hit something bigger? Now, I don't even know if there's anything that big, coming up close enough to when he could actually do it. He's going to have to kind of take what he can get, so to speak. I don't know if he can qualify maybe at the Arnold UK and then do the Arnold UK Open show in the Pro League show, I should say. I don't know. That's something that he's going to have to figure out on paper. And I know he was at Weinberger's gym, so Steve probably looked at him and gave him a lot of advice. He sort of was helping him with his posing. Steve's really good like that, especially with young talent, and he wants to see the best of the best in the IFBB Pro League, and I'm sure Jim Mannion does as well. So this guy is a shoo-in. I'm glad he made the decision. I think he's going to make a lot more money and be way more popular. He's going to get a ton more fans from this, and we're going to see if the hype of Krizo is really what it's all about. I think he's the real deal. I think he's a hardcore training type of individual. He lives the bodybuilding lifestyle. You can see it. I can't wait to see him up on an IFBB stage. What show he'll be at, that's up for discussion. Put it in the comments below. Where you think we'll see Krizo next? Maybe by the time this video airs, he will have made a decision. I don't know. Will we see him on the Olympia stage? Is he good enough for top 6? That's a discussion that Chris Aceto and I will have on Heavy Muscle Radio this coming weekend. Once again, until we see him against these guys, it's hard to make that call, but it's always fun to speculate. I'm Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle News Update.